It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. And I'm all by myself. No Hannah, no Greg. Um, we just came off of our wonderful Palm Springs weekend getaway with our family, and we had the most amazing bonding time together. It was so much fun, and I'm so thankful for it. We did get some news, however, while we were there. Greg's brother's wife passed away from a long battle with cancer, and the services are today. So Greg really needed to be in Indiana for his brother, and it was decided that I would stay here. I have consultations and some commitments this week before we break ground on a new job in Temecula next week, but that Greg would travel by himself back to Indiana to be there for the services for his sister-in-law, Janet. So he's going to be gone all week until Sunday. And for those of you that follow really closely, you know that the last time Greg was in Indiana 3 years ago is when he had his cardiac arrest in the Minneapolis airport on his way home from a trip to see his family. So, I know he's not going to have a cardiac arrest in the airport again, but it just brings up a lot. So, this is, I'm feeling the feels today, and I don't know, just sad, just concerned, kind of melancholy. But I have decided to focus on the triumph that experience was. Yes, he died in an airport in Minneapolis 3 years ago, but he also came back to life at an airport in Minneapolis 3 years ago. And his story, the miracle that was his recovery, the people that rallied around him to save his life, that he was able to come back from that so incredibly intact. The beauty that has been the last 3 years of us really changing our perspective on life and not taking any time for granted. Our relationship has deepened dramatically. We're kinder to each other. We're more thankful. We're more appreciative. We really treasure and value the little things. So it's a double-edged sword for sure. I'm always concerned about Greg, always, of course. When you see how easily things like this can happen, it makes me, you know, I'm not innocent anymore, let's put it that way. We all know that we could drop at a moment's notice, but Greg did. We're just blessed that he lived to talk about it. So, anywho, that's happening. Also, every October, Greg has a stress test so that the doctors can determine how his heart is doing. Is his disease progressing? Is it not progressing? Is he going to need another stent? Is he not? So that's always kind of kind of a stressful time too. Is just hoping and praying that the good choices that we've made this year, the dietary, we're so careful with our diet. We lead such a healthy lifestyle, and just hoping that he is well and that he gets a good checkup. He learned that the stress test, which was supposed to be next Monday, with a ground break on Wednesday and his return from Indiana on Sunday, so it kind of all came down on one thing right after the other. The stress test is going to have to be postponed a little bit because he has to get a COVID test through Kaiser 2 days before his test. So he's not going to be here to do that. So we'll have to bump the stress test. We're hoping to get up to our Northern California property sometime in October because we haven't been there since June. And we miss Betty, Greg's hot rod, and of course just the ranch in general. So there's a lot coming up, and we'll keep you we'll keep you apprised of all of it as we go. But that's the housekeeping. And I thought, in addition to just kind of filling you in on the personal side of what's going on with our family, that I would do a little project with you. You will note my rebutia, my grafted rebutia. I bought this little cactus at Planter's Paradise a number of months ago, and I don't have a lot of experience with, with grafted cactus. I'm not a big fan of the graft. I really want to grow the cactus without it, but I like the rebutia a lot, and I don't want to kill it. So a few weeks ago, during Walkabout Wednesday, I asked you guys to give me some input on your experience with grafted cactus and how to, can I remove the graft? Should I not remove the graft? What can I do to just encourage this cactus to grow independently? And thank you so much for all of your advice, and for those of you that reached out to other experts for me and to ask. Thank you, Susan Morse, for reaching out to some experts. And what we have determined is that, yes, I can absolutely remove the graft from the cactus. The idea is that I let it harden off and then set the cactus back in dry soil, and treat it like any other cutting. So I can do that. I do that all day, don't I? I do that for a living. So I wanted to take you with me on this little journey, and we'll see how it goes together. I want to preserve as much of this fire glass as I can. Okay. It's my OCD at work here. There's just something so satisfying about picking all of this out. And it's really, really hard for me to waste even a single piece. It's so silly, but so gratifying at the same time. Okay. What I want to do, first of all, is I want to grab this graft. And I know you're going to have questions. And I have questions. Like, what is this process? What is this piece here? What is that even? It looks like a piece of, it almost looks like I don't know what this is. Is it a euphorbia? What is this? What is it even grafted on? And is the point of the graft I don't even really know what the point of the graft is. I have a feeling we're going to go down a road together, aren't we? I do want to know. I do want to know what is happening here. Why is this rebutia growing on top of this green, whatever it is below? This thornless, and the rebutia is, it's on there. So what is going on? Do you just let it continue to grow on the graft, like for time immemorial, or is what am I doing? I don't know. But how I've always learned is just through trial and error and experimentation anyway. So this is no different. I try to apply a little bit of, a lot of experience to everything I do, but the way I got my experience was through trial and error. I did it, and sometimes it worked, and sometimes it didn't, and I learned, and I applied what I learned as I moved forward, and that's me. So we're going to do that again. All right. Goodness, this is really pretty well rooted. Yeah, okay. Okay, look at that. There is a lot of pumice, too, in this soil, which is great. That's wonderful for drainage. So I'm turning this cactus upside down. And can you see? You know, I don't know where one starts and the other ends. Where does the graft begin? Where does the cactus begin? It's just all, I mean, like one thing. So what I'm going to do, this soil, BTW, is dry as a bone. It's just super, super dry. So I am not going to set this set this aside to harden off because this is dry. There's no wet moisture or anything in it, and I feel pretty safe just popping it right back on top of the dry soil and see what happens. So I'm gonna cut as I was instructed. I'm trying to see if you can see what I'm doing here. Maybe like that. Okay, I'm gonna cut it. All right, this is not, it's not euphorbia because there's no white milky sap. It smells really good. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna set the graft aside. And now I just, you know, this rebutia is still attached to the graft a little bit. I don't know what I was expecting to see. So now I guess the idea is that I will just replace my glass. And this will also provide a little bit of a barrier from the bottom of the cut graft to, you know, keep a barrier from the graft to the soil. And the idea is that, I don't know what the idea is here, guys. I mean, let's just think about this for a second. All right, so basically all I've done, effectively done, is reduce the amount of graft on the cactus, right? It still has its graft. I just severed it and I took away all the roots, which I assume are feeding the cactus. So what was the point? Why couldn't I have just taken this and buried it deeper? I don't know what is going to happen here. Is this graft now going to wither? You know, maybe? Is that the point of it? That the graft will wither away and the cactus will root itself? I'm not sure. So, because, yeah, I don't know. So, you guys help me out here. I'm going to set this basically right here on top of the glass, just like so. And I'm going to leave this right here. I'm going to leave it in the shade. And I'm going to await instructions from you. You guys tell me, you know, what is the deal here with this graft? What can I expect from this cactus now that I have cut the grafted part off along with all of the roots? Do I need to do more work on it? Did I do the right thing? Did I do the wrong thing? So let me know in the comments. And those of you that aren't sure either, I hope that you will follow along and learn right along with me. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. Thanks for following along, guys. Bye.